Girl math. Girl math got us here. Girl math will get us out.
There's a bug on my neck.
Put the hood up.
But I don't have an M320.
This cord is long and floppy.
Long and floppy. That didn't sound good. Welcome back to week 8. As usual, nothing takes the amount of time we think it should.
Right. Cal and 3D printed us a plate for our Wolfbox G900 Pro. And this is going to help us see around this black piece you can see that Callan's pointing to, because currently we can't see around that with our camera. So this will help us push it over this way. This is our final mock-up. That was the test one. I did paint it black with acrylic gel nail polish and UV cured it, so she's not matching.
Before we get to the final piece, you're looking at the second box of screws we bought, since the factory screws are no longer long enough.
That's like what the guy does. No. Is that like a real sound penguins make, or is that just like for the show?
Probably just made up.
For Pengu?
So I guess hold it up there.
Alright, maestro.
The only problem... I mean, there's going to be a couple of problems. But... yeah, that's not long enough.
Shut up. Shut up. That's not long. Is that the longest one?
Yeah. It is. It is the longest one.
So can we shave this down a little, like half?
What are you going to shave it down with?
A sander.
Sander? I hardly know her. We're just going to send it, huh?
Yeah, I like it.
Although we can't get the mirror up, we still need to route cords from under our radio, so we are drilling a hole in our dash cover.
Can you help?
Yeah. Oh, wait, is this Wolfbox GPS?
Yeah.
Does that matter between this and the radio one?
Correct. There's a difference.
Does this also need to get threaded through there?
No.
Okay.
Do we have scissors out here?
Probably not.
Why would we?
Why would we? We have a screwdriver.
What's the problem, dog?
Ooh. Oh, you okay?
We gotta do the bottom.
Well, the bottom is the hole.
Right foot. Next, we need to cut holes in our factory panels so that the Wolfbox mirror isn't getting in the way of the covers. But if I hold it, that's even more sketchy, you know?
The next day.
Alright, spooky pie.
So, I'm just trying to think about like order operations here, right? Like, do we need to hang
The headliner back
the
up?
headliner back up first?
I mean, we could get it back in here and see where it hooks in.
The only other thing is we want to put the insulation
Under that.
under that.
Well, let's grab the headliner and see where that clips on, I guess. How far it goes.
Okie dokie.
And then we're probably going to have to open the insulation box.
Where are we trying to put this?
I guess the floor.
That was not very well planned out.
Winging it. Alright, we need a table. This giant box is Thinsulate insulation from Camper Van HQ. We ended up going with the pre-cut version for our Ford Transit van because it was already cut and it was about the same price. And that saves me a lot of time.
We did a lot of research on the thin slate insulation, and we tried to figure out like what people use in their van. A lot of people go with thin slate because it's got a bunch of good specs. Like it's quiet, it's lightweight, easy to install, it's mold, mildew, and moisture resistant, and also automotive fire resistant. So, good stuff.
Should be good for our van.
For what we're using it for.
Yeah, so we gotta install all of this. We do have, as you've seen, some water issues in our van. Some of our walls are pooling when it rains, so we need to figure that out before we can do the rest of it, just because we don't want mold growing inside of our walls.
It is mold resistant, but not mold proof.
Not mold proof, mold resistant.
That's P1.
There's gotta be a map in here, right? DL. On the DL.
Wait, PL.
PL goes with
Passenger driver for sure.
Right. Man, we don't have enough space for this.
No, we don't. We need another table.
Story of our life.
There's no map.
There's gotta be a map.
There's no map.
It's definitely on the bottom.
Map! On the map. On the map. On the
Van
map.
front, van back. Yeah, so we don't lose this. If we lose that,
We're screwed.
we are in trouble.
What's this one? DM.
DM.
PR. I feel like it's in the pile.
This is a PRDL.
Prindle.
Passenger rear door left.
Prindle. Do you know what Prindle's from?
Sweet Life of Zach and Cody.
Yeah.
C4.
Okay. We found C2, 4,
Oh no,
and 5.
it's C4! That's an explosive.
C1. That's the one we need. That's the baddie.
We still don't know where the scissors went, huh?
Nope.
Hey, scissors.
Hey, I found him.
Right next to what I needed.
Hey,
Wish it
look
would work that well every time.
Would you imagine that?
Callan worked on getting our airbag covers back on after everything was rewired.
So you're gonna wanna put a screw through here first. So washer, screw, and then we're gonna put the nut on the back of that.
We are now on our third box of screws for the Wolfbox, but these should finally be long enough. Callan also printed a thinner version of our mount.
This is gonna be rough.
Excellent. You're gonna be like, wow, that was actually way easier than I thought it would be.
Prob's not, but maybe.
Well, I guess you can put that on. But I want to do the other one before.
Nope.
You can't put that on at all?
Nope.
So how's it gonna work on this side? Oh, it's so close. The answer is it's not.
It's definitely a little flimsy.
If we're on a bumpy road, it's gonna go.
Because that issue is that we need longer screws. Because this whole back piece is going to be thicker. So anything on this side is going to also be extended this way.
I see. So we still need the longer screws.
We still need the longer screws.
There you go. Have fun envisioning.
Oh yeah, look at that! Does it turn on by itself?
The G900 Pro. It did last time, but then it had the error thing, but then it went back, so yeah.
Boom, look at that.
I should have came back here.
But then how are you gonna get into the front?
I got it on. It's not that far. My arms aren't that short.
Mine are. Right, so the question then becomes, how does the headliner go in?
Pretty sure on that lippy.
You think on the lip?
I think like here. I think it's here.
We brought the headliner back in to make sure that it would fit around our insulation.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to get that glued on up there.
But we can tuck stuff into here.
Correct. That was no issue. There's so much space under that thing. You could even come in and hook it to this part if you wanted. Over this.
The next day.
Callan finished printing his bracket for the Wolfbox, and we finally have the correct screws.
All right, so we need to cover our wheel wells, and we decided to go with the more expensive sound deadening panels because these are going to be probably the loudest thing in our van. So we are putting the good stuff here, and then everywhere else we have the Amazon versions.
That way, if I lose it when it's in my mouth, I know I swallowed it.
I think that's significantly worse.
Right, but then I know where it is.
Okay.
That's the method I'm going with for now.
Praying for you. 3 cameras active.
Let's go, gamer.
And GPS.
Holy Wolfbox
G900 Pro.
G900 finally done. Granted, the installation of the Wolfbox was fine. That was super easy. It was just the fact that we had to modify it for our vehicle in such a dramatic way. Made it difficult.
We've got our PPE on.
This stuff is extremely toxic and hazard and flammable.
It is glue because we are going to start gluing in our insulation. We ended up going with the pre-cut version because it was basically the same price and it was pre-cut for our van, so I'm not going to complain about that because I've seen people cut their insulation and it does not look fun. So this is the exact size as our headliner. We already checked. We covered it up so we don't get glue everywhere, hopefully. And then we are going to get her stuck up there.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, ready?
I suppose.
Try and start with the bottom first.
Yeah.
In that bottom lip. Mask on, I still can smell it.
Real, gotta let the van air out.
Next, we brought the headliner in after the insulation had fully set up.
Then we began the long process of figuring out where the heck all the screws go back in that we took out months ago.
I don't know. You took it apart. How do you put it back together?
Years ago.
YouTube.
So we have my 2016
2016 Ford Transit. Come on. While we were trying to put the headliner back up, we plugged everything back in for the rear AC unit and realized that that was not working. We checked all the wiring harness below the headliner, I guess, all the way back here, and I remembered that there was a ground cable that we did not fit in because it originally was up here on the inside of the van. I didn't know if we would need that or not, so I tucked it back in here and was just hoping we wouldn't need it. We did need it, fun fact, because the AC unit was not working at all. So I managed to get my hand up in here, get a bolt on the back side, and there was luckily a hole pretty much where the cable ended, and I was able to put a screw and a nut through that, and now it works. So your AC unit for the rear does need to be grounded, but those grounds are separate from the 3 grounds that are behind the AC unit. So there's 4 grounds total for your AC unit.
Ta-da!
We finally have a fully functioning front end again.
Yay! We have our headliner up.
With insulation behind it.
With insulation. We have all of our wiring harness rerouted and
And
tucked
it works.
back in.
It works.
This all works electrically sound.
No check engine lights, no airbag lights.
Floor motor. We got the Wolfbox completely installed. All the cameras routed underneath there. We got the radio installed, also rerouted underneath.
Airbags are out of the front.
Airbags out of the front.
Front walls.
Walls. The walls came off.
The dash airbags still work.
Yep. No air lights there. Yeah.
We can finally
We are kind of at a base cargo.
start a base camper van build, yeah.
Yeah.
It
We're
only-
gonna start insulating floor and yeah.
Only took like 2 months to get to this point, but we're finally here.
Unless you get a deal on a passenger van, I would just buy a cargo.
I would pass.
The windows are nice.
The windows are nice. That'll save us some.
Some money there. We
that-
also do have heat and AC in the
That's
back,
true,
which
that's
most
true.
people have to find a solution for. So that's already built into our
That's true.
solution. That's a big one, I think.
Yeah.
But-
That's a couple grand right there.
Right. But other than that, you could probably put that into your system, and you should just buy the cargo van if you can find one.
Just buy the cargo van.
But you can make it work.
You can make it work. We made it work, so I'm sure you can make it work.
Yeah, we are good to go. We got CarPlay, and we can put this thing in drive. Oh yeah, brethren.
Yeah!
Yeah, cookies! All
Silly
right.
Goose is on the loose.
She's cooking.
This is me now that our van works.